Live from downtown Vancouver at the Vancouver Film School campus, it's time for EP Live. Hey, welcome to EPN. My name is Victor Lucas, and you are watching the show that brings you the latest in everything cool. Thank you so much for joining us live in our venue here at 390 West Hastings. Good to see you guys. And also all of you watching us on YouTube. It's fantastic to have you. We're going to have a very fun show. I know I've been away from EP Live for a bit. We've been doing a lot of traveling. This is the crazy lead up to E3 time. I got some early looks at some games that are going to be shown off or announced or unveiled at E3. So I've got a lot of embargo information that I've got to keep compartmentalized in this brain while Johnny Millenium and I talk about the games that we are psyched for at E3 2019. It is the 25th E3 and the 25th E3 that I've been going to, or I'm about to go to, which freaks me the hell out, I have to be honest. I've been to a lot of E3s, but it's always a very, very fun show. All right, we have a rundown to get to, and today that is dedicated to our good friend, The Last Disciple, who on my video yesterday said, anybody else getting weird video suggestions next to this video? It's all toddler stuff. Somehow our rundown yesterday queued up a bunch of toddler videos on the side of our news. For whatever reason. We checked it out at our house too, and it's true, and my kid wanted to watch all of those little baby videos, which is a little bit weird. I don't know why that was. All right, let's get started with your rundown. It doesn't sound like we'll be getting to see what happens after the end of Game of Thrones. With several spin-off shows currently in development, it turns out that none of them are sequels. That's according to HBO's programming chief, Casey Bloys, who tells Deadline that they want the existing story and characters to remain their own thing, so they have no plan to pick up with any of them in a sequel, at least not right now. That could change down the road, of course, but for now they're looking for spin-offs that will explore other areas and time periods in George R.R. Martin's vast world. The first spin-off is a prequel set thousands of years earlier, and that's going to debut next year. I think that this is probably the right approach if, HBO is looking to kind of extend this franchise and the universe of Game of Thrones and give us Westeros through the ages. That's just, it's such a huge franchise for the network and for AT&T, I think, is the parent company that owns HBO. It's made so much money and has had so many eyeballs on it. It only makes sense, like Star Wars, to kind of expand in a bunch of different directions, because then the spin-offs can keep coming aplenty, But I also do think that, a little tiny spoiler here, enough threads were left with the finale to make us think, hey, wait a second, they're going to come back to some of these characters, aren't they? Sort of teasing adventures and possibilities, and lots of doors are left open. I even read one where a prediction or some speculation that one of the characters that died might come back to life again because she was carried off and taken to a faraway land, and maybe some kind of regeneration thing might come back again. I would expect that these characters and the actors associated with these characters, they're just all so famous and so popular that it just doesn't make sense for them to just kind of be dust in the wind like the superheroes in Infinity War. I think they'll be back. Hollywood has set its sights on another big video game franchise, Just Cause. A big screen movie based on the Just Cause video games is on the way. Constantine Film, the same company behind the Resident Evil movies and the upcoming Monster Hunter film, has picked up the rights to the open world franchise. The screenplay is already in the works with John Wick writer Derek Kolstad, with the story to focus on Special Agent Rico Rodriguez as he explores his way through a villainous island dictatorship. And like the games, expect loads of mayhem. Filming is slated to begin next year. Now, this one doesn't surprise me that much, because Just Cause, when you watch the cut sequences and you kind of dig into the story a little bit, the nonsensical story, which, always devolves into just lots of things blowing up, which is fun. The Just Cause games can be ridiculous amounts of fun, but when you do sort of pay attention to the story for minutes at a time, you do get the sense that somebody's been watching a lot of Robert Rodriguez movies, and it is loaded with cacophony and lots of explosions and cinematic kind of touchstones that would make a good film series if they do it right. If they have a good sense of humor and a self-awareness and kind of poke fun at itself as a video game property, I think the Just Cause movie could be a hell of a lot of fun, so I'm psyched about that. Let's talk about another action picture that's headed our way. James Bond isn't going to let any ankle injury slow him down in his next movie. The producers behind the next 007 movie have confirmed that the film will not be delayed as a result of Daniel Craig's recent injury. Craig suffered an ankle injury last week while shooting an action scene, forcing him to get surgery and causing a pause in production. But the producers say production has now resumed with the other actors while Craig recovers from the surgery. The scheduling adjustment will allow the film to be finished in time for its planned April 2020 release, so audiences won't have to wait any extra time. No word yet on the film's title. It's kind of crazy. It's almost like this movie's... I don't want to throw out the word cursed, but it feels like it might be cursed. I mean, they had to fire the director, Danny, what was his name? Danny Boyle. Yeah, they fired Danny Boyle, which was tragic. I was looking forward to a James Bond movie directed by Danny Boyle. And, you know, of course, infamously, Daniel Craig sort of complained at the end of Spectre that he didn't ever want to go back to James Bond. He wanted to rather slice his wrists than play the character again. So it feels like, you know, this has been one of those movies where it's like, well, they're willing it into existence. And it also, I think, kind of, you know, Blake brought it up in the script notes here, that it kind of makes us a little bit nervous of these action actors like Tom Cruise, who hurt himself on The Last Mission Impossible, and, of course, Harrison Ford was almost killed on The Force Awakens. We get a bit nervous. And honestly, we're going to talk about John Wick 3, Johnny and I, a little bit later in the show. I was a bit nervous for Keanu in some of those sequences, too. You know, these guys, you get older, and some of the reflexes and some of the stuff slows down a little bit. It happens to the best of us, and you just don't want anybody to get seriously hurt, you know. But hopefully Daniel Craig pulls it together and gives us an awesome send-off to his performance of James Bond. He's been great in the role. The movies have been sort of all over the place, but I am hopeful that this will be as good as Casino Royale, which is still my favorite James Bond movie. So hopefully it's great. Now, one of Nintendo's biggest franchises has begun racing to mobile. The new game Mario Kart Tour has started rolling out on Android devices in Japan, with other territories getting it soon. It's basically a simplified version of the recent console games, with the cars automatically accelerating and players able to steer by tilting their phones. It's free to play, so there will be microtransactions, although how they'll work and what you'll be able to buy won't be revealed until after the beta. Mario Kart is just the latest Nintendo franchise to make the jump to mobile, and other big properties like Zelda and Dr. Mario will be following up soon. I just took a couple of seconds look at the visuals for the game for Mario Kart Tour. What's that? No, I took a look at the mobile game. Yeah, no, I'm reading the script. Blake's trying to interrupt me. We're on a live show here, Blake. What are you doing? I looked at the mobile game. It actually looks pretty fun. I expect that it will make Nintendo cajillions of dollars because we all love Mario Kart. It is kind of lame that it's auto-accelerating, though. I hope they switch that up. Maybe they will. I mean, I think if enough people love it and freak out about it and complain to Nintendo about it and download it, things might get adapted a little bit, which could be cool. So looking forward to playing Mario Kart Tour on my iPhone when they release that. I still love the original Mario Kart on the Super Nintendo, and I still love Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the Switch. Incredible franchise. It's going to do well on mobile. That's my very safe prediction for you. All right, let's take a look back in time now at this day in Everything Cool. Welcome to This Day and Everything Cool for May 22nd. On this day in 1980, one of the most famous arcade games in history chomped its way out. Namco released a new game called Puckman, initially testing it at just one location, a movie theater in Tokyo, before giving it a wide release across the country. It was only a moderate success in Japan, but thankfully it did well enough for Namco to give it an international rollout. For the US version, they partnered with Midway, but before it was released, they decided to make one important change. They dropped the letter K from the title in order to prevent vandals from altering the P into an F, thus making the name Puckman something more obscene. The result, Pac-Man, was released in the US a few months later and became an unexpectedly huge hit and was soon the most popular arcade game in the country. Pac-Man was ported to home video consoles like the Atari 2600, and today you can play it pretty much anywhere, even on Google's homepage. Another perfect game was released on May 22nd, 2000. Developer Rare released their first-person shooter Perfect Dark on the Nintendo 64, thrusting players into the role of futuristic secret agent Joanna Dark. The game was a spiritual successor to Rare's 1997 shooter GoldenEye, but built on the technology in that game, offering better graphics, much better lighting, and new gameplay mechanics like the ability to duck, crouch, lean, and drop from ledges. There were also stealth sections, a rarity in the shooter genre at the time, and Perfect Dark was also one of the first shooters to have on-screen reload animations. It pushed the limits of the N64, and as such required the console's expansion pack in order to have enough memory to run. Perfect Dark received critical acclaim and proved once again that shooters could work on consoles. Gamers were seeing red a year later on May 22nd, 2001. The first Red Faction game was released on the PS2, becoming one of the first games to feature geometry modification, which is a fancy way of saying destructible environments. Several previous games had featured limited environment alteration, usually after pre-scripted cutscenes. But in Red Faction, the world around you would be destroyed in real time as you played, with all your bullets and bombs taking their toll in appropriate ways. This is something that still hasn't become commonplace in games, although other franchises like Battlefield and Rainbow Six have incorporated the idea. Hey, happy Perfect Dark Day. That's pretty cool. That was a pretty incredible game back in its time. But it's time to move on into the future. And actually, we're going to look into a crystal ball right now. My good friend from the Happy Console Gamer Show, you know him from his incredible YouTube channel, and you also know him as my review partner on Film Fury. Tonight, we're going to go and see Aladdin together. We might be holding hands during the whole movie. Come on up, Johnny Millenium. Yay!
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you,
You've been gone for a bit.
I know. I've been back and forth to Toronto and Los Angeles. I'm going to Toronto in the morning tomorrow.
For Anime North?
Anime North. And
What?
I'm excited. If you're coming to Anime North, please come and say hello to me. I'm going to be at 8-Bit Beans. So
You're a big anime fan.
I do love anime.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you do.
I don't know everything. I'm not like you
No, I'm only
with
bugging
the
you a
anime
little bit.
collection, but I do love anime, yeah.
And I can't believe we're seeing Aladdin tonight. It's unbelievable.
It might be good. Come on. Where's the happy console gamer? That's who we invited on the show.
This is the realistic Happy Console Gamer Day, for sure. So we're going to talk about E3, I guess. I brought some notes.
Let me just call mine up here. Okay, so here's the deal, all right? I've already seen some of these games that are on our list. I've played them, so I have to be very careful about what I talk about because I'm under embargo and I'm not supposed to reveal too much about stuff. Some of this, like one of them, why don't we just start with one of them? Blake, we can go in any order here? Okay, one of them is Control, which is coming up very soon. It's coming out this summer from Remedy, and it looks incredible. What do you know about Control?
Absolutely nothing, so give me a history lesson here.
Oh, okay, well, I don't know all the details about the minutiae in the story, but it's basically some kind of, it's like a psychological thriller action title, and you are part of this organization that deals with paranormal and metaphysical kind of crimes, and you have these sort of magic abilities, like being able to move things with your mind and shifting things, and your gun and your weapon and all that stuff all sort of transforms within itself. And so you can actually, it's almost like Inception meets Psyops. Remember that old Midway game?
Yeah, which company's
Remedy,
bringing this out?
Alan
Remedy.
Wake, and Max Payne, and they did
good.
Quantum Break. So
Right.
they're very cinematic in their storytelling. The one thing that I really like about this, in getting to know the game a little bit, is the lore that, I'm forgetting his name right now. Sam Lake, the writer, he puts so much effort and energy into creating fiction that is elaborate and ambitious, and that's absolutely the case here. You're inside of an institution called the Old House.
I think I remember seeing a little bit of this, but I wasn't really hyped on it. Here's the thing, should I be hyped on this?
You should.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, that's all I can
That's
say.
cool.
But you should be hyped on this, absolutely.
So the thing is we're walking around a landmine of what you can and cannot talk about. Like, just pretend you don't know nothing.
Yes, for sure.
Okay.
Okay.
So
why don't you take us in?
The next game I really want to talk about is the remake to Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah.
One of the biggest games.
I did not touch that at all. So
I didn't think so.
Yeah.
I just want to know a release date. I want to know a lot more about the game. They just teased it a little bit ago. They showed a little small trailer.
Square Enix has a live press conference.
Yes.
And some of them have been taken off the table this year. Like EA is not having one. Sony's not going to be at E3. We all know that.
Yeah.
But Square Enix is going to be there, and they've got a live venue to show some stuff off. Now, they have Avengers as well.
A thing that you're very excited about.
I'm super excited about.
I'm okay with. I'll check it out for sure, but I'm not super hyped about
Crystal Dynamics, but this is also one of the big ones. The Final Fantasy VII, they have to
And
answer
remember, they
a
said
lot
it
of
was
questions.
episodic,
Yeah.
so it's going to be strange. Is that it's going to release the first part, the first chapter?
Yeah, they're
This
sticking
is,
with that.
This is what I want to hear. What's going on?
Yep.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll have a you buy the whole thing price, but it's weird that they're going to.
Strange.
But remember, the game was on 4 discs or something when it launched, right? Like.
Well, here's a lot of the games we're going to talk about today.
Yeah.
This is the curious thing. Are they going to end up being on the PlayStation 5?
Right.
That's what that's the big thing I'm confused about. Are we going to get Cyberpunk on PS4 and Cyberpunk on PS5? Probably.
I think what's going to happen from here on out, because PlayStation 5, they've already hinted around backwards compatibility, and we know Xbox's stance on this. Every game will be able to play on the future generation, and there will be some
an updated version type of thing.
Some kind of augmentation, whether that's, super insane fast loading times or, rock solid 4K resolution at 60 frames a second. That's hopefully the target. Maybe ray tracing is added as, because, when you're speccing out a game that's going to be also on the PC, you're already adding all of those features
Absolutely,
anyways.
yeah.
And I know that these new consoles.
Just like they had pro enhanced versions of certain games, it's going to be the same way.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I would say like Cyberpunk will be, cross generation. Another game which I did get some hands-on time with, which I can't talk about, but I'm glad it's on this list because it made me smile, is The Outer Worlds. This is the Obsidian game where it's kind of in the vein of the work that they did on Fallout New Vegas, and a lot of these team members at Obsidian worked at Black Isle back in the day for. What was the big studio? Interplay.
Right.
So they have a lot of this RPG kind of experience, this sort of open-ended, open world kind of stuff. And that's about all I can say. But
no worries.
I'm super excited about the Outer Worlds.
It looks kind of exciting from what I've seen. I want to see a little bit more shown, but I believe that it might be kind of interesting just looking up at the sky.
It's got a Fallout kind of vibe
of course it does,
to it
from its history,
but you're on different planets, so it's like a more infused.
I know don't say anything that's gonna.
But here's the weird thing about this game: Obsidian is making it, and it's being published by Private Division, which is a new subsidiary that 2K has created, which is kind of targeting, I guess, third-party developers and publishing their stuff. But Microsoft now owns Obsidian. That was one of the companies that they bought. And so now it looks like because I would imagine that Obsidian owns the Outer Worlds, so it feels like Xbox owns it, but it's coming to the PlayStation.
There's so much confusion going on.
I know.
It's the next generation.
So Microsoft is going to be, inadvertently publishing a game on the PlayStation.
And the weird thing about Microsoft, we haven't even got to them. We'll finish up with Sony.
Yeah.
But wondering what they're going to do. Are they going to have exclusive titles that will go to PC and everybody else as well? What is going on, man?
Well, this is a big topic, but I think Xbox their whole strategy is we're putting it everywhere.
Yeah,
I think we're going to see Halo on the PlayStation.
They're kind of pulling a Sega.
I don't know if that's going to happen this year, but I think they're going to say, who cares what screen you play our games on?
As I was just saying,
they're
pulling a Sega back in the day, leaving the hardware business, but it's staying in the hardware business, but making games for everything.
If you think about it, like the TV manufacturers, and they're all making incredible televisions, whether you buy a Sony or a Samsung or an LG or whatever, and there is some brand allegiance, but you kind of know what you're getting. They're all kind of comparable, right? And PCs are kind of that way as well. Yeah. So why should consoles be that much different? You should be able to access, all kinds of stuff.
Everything, yeah.
And I'm sure Stadia is going to work out deals with the console
manufacturers.
Also
that, which is another huge thing.
Yeah.
But finishing up here, one of the games I'm looking forward to, just for Bethesda to announce, is Starfield.
Yeah.
I am...
I honestly, I don't think Starfield will be anywhere near the E3. They were very but except Bethesda's got a big press conference, so they'll have video, but it will be very much like this
a trailer.
is coming.
This is what the idea is,
so
and all that.
We know you want to see a little bit, but we're not going to get a release date. I would say that Starfield is probably 2021 or 2022.
That makes sense, and then Skyrim somewhere maybe after that.
I think we might
the
get
next Elder Scrolls game.
I think we might get an Elder Scrolls game before Starfield.
Before?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I think we might.
You heard it from Victor Lucas first here.
I'm not saying that that's happening.
He's not saying that's happening.
But I think that might. But let's stick on to Bethesda here, because we know 2 games are definitely coming as their big reveals last year, and that's Doom Eternal.
Yes.
Which I was under the impression that it was a kind of a revisit, or not a reboot, but like just basically enhancing what we saw. It is not that. It is a whole new game, and it's I guess it's a sequel. I don't know exactly how the story all plays out.
I don't know either.
But brand new mechanics, brand new sensibility, incredible over the top.
But improving on, making it better, we don't know.
Well, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Can we even have a conversation here? It's not possible. It's not possible.
But the other game that they're showing off, and I found out about this, it's a partnership with Machine Games and Arcane Studios.
Right.
I think I can say, I got to be able to say that. But the next Wolfenstein, what is it, Youngblood, with the 2 daughters of B.J. Blazkowicz.
Yeah.
That's looking incredible. I can say that.
Okay.
I can say that
that
is looking incredible. It's super,
it's incredible.
Super fast. But I think Bethesda's going to have a very good showing this year. And you know what? They also have to do a little bit of, I think, apologizing a little bit for Fallout 76.
There's a lot of angry people with that. So, they got to win them back, right? Jeez, that's tough.
Hey, we got a huge super chat from Johnny Dark. What's up, guys? Let me pay for a mandate. Fingers crossed for Aladdin. Surprised Disney would risk tarnishing their flagship movies for a quick buck, but that's business. Love PsyOps. We got some shout out for PsyOps. PsyOps is incredible. We'll talk a little bit with the chat here in a second, but let's move on to another game.
Okay, sure. Would you want to stay in this realm?
Yeah.
I was going to move on to Nintendo.
Go for it. Yeah.
We can move on to Nintendo?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
We're not going to be able to get through every one.
No, we'll just blast a bunch of games and you just blast a bunch back.
Yeah.
Looking forward to Luigi's Mansion 3.
Yes.
Fire Emblem 3 Houses.
Yep.
Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
The new Animal Crossing, Astral Train by Platinum.
It's amazing how much we know already from Nintendo, isn't it?
Yeah, but we've seen trailers and a little bit of early stuff, but I think this E3 they're going to delve into it and really show us the gameplay and show us how these games play out.
Do you think they'll have hardware? Like the new Switch?
Yes, so I wrote that down as well.
Do you think they will?
I think there's going to be maybe a smaller version.
Would they show it at E3, though? This is my question.
Well, they'll show their own Nintendo Direct during that E3 time.
But wouldn't that stop people from buying the Switch that exists?
But the Switch has already been out for 2 years. Maybe this is for a certain kind of marketplace.
Yeah.
Maybe it's for younger kids that just want a built-in Switch all as one.
I mean, I
don't know.
I want that machine, and I think it's smart, but I don't know if E3 is the time, unless it's out in summer.
I don't know.
Which would make, like, if you're going to make a portable Switch, bring it out in the summer.
Right.
Everybody's going to be traveling for holidays and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And that's when you bring out the mini version
There's
of the
been
Switch.
so many rumors that I just kind of want to grab onto one of those rumors and think that it's true.
I mean, I think if they show it at E3, it's coming out soon.
Right.
If they don't show it at E3, it's still coming out, but it's going to be a
little bit
Christmas
later.
thing.
Christmas thing.
Yeah,
which potentially a Christmas thing for sure.
I mean, listen to all these games that you already know about from Nintendo, and the Zelda, the
Link's Awakening.
I can't wait.
Can't wait for that. Isn't that funny? That's just like an overhead 2D game.
Yes.
But it looks so fantastic.
I want them to dive deeper into that back catalog with reissues of Game Boy titles, and and I also honestly it's time for Nintendo to show us the other sides of their catalog here. Let's see some of the SNES stuff on Switch. Let's see some of the.
They need to do that.
That
should have been done to begin with.
And honestly, we're back to cartridges again with the Switch. I thought about this too. It's like, why doesn't Nintendo just release a machine that lets you put in all your 3DS and DS and Game Boy Advance cartridges and your Switch?
Because they don't want to. They want to control it a certain way.
Well, why wouldn't you? I mean,
that's because it's Nintendo. They like to do their own thing. It's always a little bit strange.
It's
never quite what you want with Nintendo, is it?
No, I didn't.
You watch the Nintendo Direct and it's pretty good, but you're like, I just was thinking of something else.
Except when they release a game like Zelda and it's way more than I want.
Right.
They also have that propensity as well.
Breath of the Wild. That's why we're so shocked. We're like, what?
Yes.
That's unbelievable.
Okay,
what else you got?
I got Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. I haven't played it yet, but I know I've just booked my time to get some hands-on time, so I can't freaking wait to give that a shot. This is Respawn, one of my favorite developers on Earth, and it should be...
should be good.
It should be invigorating and just astonishingly fast and beautiful.
No microtransactions, no more crap.
I love that this has become a bullet point.
Yeah,
I love that developers and publishers are coming out.
Have to say that now.
Yeah, but I love that they are, and I love that they're being much more front and center about it. Like, if it's got a price tag, we should expect that we get the whole thing for that price at this point.
Exactly.
Right? And the flip of that is, if you don't do that and you sort of hide a bunch of stuff based on grinding or paying for it, you're going to get called out, man.
You're going to get called out by everybody. Just release a game, as you
Yeah.
said, that we can play and we enjoy and we finish it and that's it. And if we want to buy expansions, that's up to the consumer because they want more.
Totally.
Rather than,
We're going to know about Gears 5. We're going to
That's
know
one that's
everything
gonna be
about Gears
exciting.
5. So I'm looking forward to playing Gears 5 on my Switch. That's going to be... It's crazy world.
I know. I'm getting older. I can't keep track of what's actually happening anymore. Back in the old days, it was very easy. It was Xbox versus the
I'm
Nintendo.
looking forward to playing Gears 5 on my Switch, streaming through my Stadia account.
Ooh, God. That's going to mess up us all.
It's going to be so weird.
Yeah.
And then we're going to find out more about Halo Infinite, but I think the rumors on Halo Infinite is that it's going to be the next Xbox. It's going to be a launch title for whatever.
What is Halo Infinite? Is that the next Halo?
Yeah.
Is that like a code name?
Well, they showed a little bit of it, and,
Okay, I
and
haven't
sort
seen
of
anything.
teased it as a battle royale type of massive open, maybe persistent universe type experience. It's definitely
Like a Destiny style of game, or
they're throwing all the money that they can at this thing to. Keep us locked in, and I have faith in 343. I think they're an incredible development studio,
that's gonna
and
be kinda weird.
they have invested a ton. So hopefully, this is going to, just
So is this
blow
gonna be-
our minds.
is this going to be the next Halo, or is it going to
Yes.
make it the next Halo?
I don't know what you're saying.
Well, I'm saying, do we get a numbered version, or is this just like
No, this
a
is
different
it.
take? This is it?
This is it.
But a different take on it.
All resources funneled in this direction. So Halo
Okay.
Infinite.
This is the next Halo.
This might be the most expensive. I've heard it might be the most expensive video game ever made.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So we'll find out soon.
All right.
We'll find
Lots
out
of microtransactions in there to pay for it.
I also want to find out about Metroid Prime 4, but I don't
Yes.
know if this E3 is going to be the place that we find out
But you
about
know
it.
what? We'll see a title and say "still in development." That's what it's going to say. That's going to be funny.
And let's see. Oh yeah, Rocksteady. Man, I keep tweeting about them because I love them and I love their games. But I keep, hitting them about like, what's the next Arkham thing? I think we might. I have a Warner Brothers appointment. I didn't see anything at the pre-E3 stuff, but I have a Warner Brothers appointment, and I think they have one unannounced thing. So hopefully this is whatever new superhero craziness that Rocksteady has been on.
You're going to see this guy pass out.
Oh, I totally will.
He's going to pass out.
But the other thing is that WB Montreal has been sort of hinting that there's a Batman type of experience. I keep seeing pictures with Patrick Redding, I think, who runs the studio over there, in front of bat signals and stuff. Like, he's totally teasing, like, something is coming.
Something's happening.
We know something is coming.
Yeah, and then for all the things that we know, there's going to be so many things that we don't know, and that's exciting.
Yes.
Like E3 is Christmas for us all. It really is.
E3, that is E3. It is not what we already know and what we already anticipate. What I do know is that there will be no PlayStation first-party stuff there at all. It's not that they just don't have a booth.
They're doing their own show.
Like no one from Sony is going down to
Yeah.
E3, not even to check out the competition or no meetings, nothing. So no
way to play any games there?
None of
Whoa,
their
they're
games.
totally gone. Like
They are
100%
not
gone.
100%
Wow.
absent from this E3, which
Yeah.
is bizarre as hell because for me, someone that started this 25 years ago, Sony was the thing that cemented it because they had their big PlayStation reveal party. That's where they launched the machine.
Yeah.
They had the price point. They had the party that Michael Jackson went to.
So were you there when the guy comes up and he announces the price? And he leaves. Were you there?
Steve Race.
Well, you were standing there.
Yeah, I
watching
was
it?
in there. Yeah.
Wow, isn't
Yeah.
that amazing?
Yeah.
25 years ago.
We're
Isn't that
better
cool?
than them. We're going to beat them. We got the prize. It was
Yeah.
incredible. It was like there was so much aggression, really. Like
Oh,
the
yeah,
console
yeah,
wars were
yeah,
big, right?
yeah.
Like we're seeing the end of the console wars.
Everybody's getting along now, and we don't like it.
No,
I'm joking.
I think we do like it, but it's
weird.
It is
weird.
weird.
I mean, funny.
And it's so weird that they're not going to be there. It's so weird that they don't have their party and they don't have their big press conference.
There's quite a stance for them to take.
Yeah.
They're really saying a lot with that.
Yes.
You know, because look at the big shows they've had every year, like showing God of War and like, the orchestra and the music and the lighting. It was amazing. And now all of a sudden, nothing. You don't get zip.
Nothing. And we don't know when Hideo's game is coming out.
Oh, yeah, that's going to be a launch PS5 game. That's
you think he's pushed it back?
Do you know what? Maybe it'll be one of those PS4 Pro ones, and then, we get the PS5 enhanced version.
Right.
Or maybe this goes straight to PS5. I don't know.
And Last of Us doesn't necessarily have to be on this machine. Maybe
it's for the next machine, Scott.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, then again, there's a lot of PlayStation 4s out there, so they'd be crazy not to hit that market.
Yeah.
We're going to get these. Do you know what? It's just going to be enhanced ports. So that's what's going to be.
I think so.
Going into next generation with all these machines.
Yeah, I mean, just as we're going to start to see a lot less delineation between machines.
Yeah.
Release dates and where a game initially launches is going to mean a lot less. I think we're going to see a Red Dead 2 on whatever the next machines are. Optimized to the. Because they keep dropping hints that it's coming to the PC, so I'm sure it's all getting ray traced and tweaked and all the shiny bells.
There's a lot of things going on behind the scenes right now.
And I think Cyberpunk, which was our game of E3 last year, so excited for that.
So excited.
Yeah, that should be.
So like my number one game I'm thinking about.
Still, right?
It really is.
I know. I'm just looking down my list to see. We're going to see Ghost Recon Breakpoint, which. I've got an appointment for that. I haven't played it, haven't touched that at all yet.
Right.
I liked Wildlands. I wasn't blown away by it. I was a little disappointed that I didn't love it as much as I did because I know how much work I wanted to because I know how much work went into it. But what happens when they iterate with technologies like this, because it was a big ambitious game, is they tweak and improve like they did with Watch Dogs 2.
Right.
And there is a rumor about a new Watch Dogs as well, so I'm psyched about that.
That's good.
Yeah. And I know about Call of Duty, but I can't talk about it.
It's more shooting than you've ever seen before.
Oh, it's
brand new.
It's going to surprise a lot of you. Yeah, that's all I can say. It's going to surprise a lot of you.
Okay.
Okay, I think we got to move on because we have more show to get
to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to be trying out the Oculus Quest.
Look how small it is. It's amazing.
And I talked to Johnny a little bit about John Wick 3 because he got to see the early screening. I saw it a day later in LA.
Talk about it.
And that was fun, too, because they crank everything. Anyways, here's my review of John Wick 3.
You have no idea what's coming.
I did see an early screening of John Wick 3, but this is the first time that I've had time to be able to sit here and talk to you about this movie. I'm going to spoil a few things, so if you haven't seen it, maybe you want to wait until you do see the movie. But I can tell you right out of the gate here, and I think I'm spoiling my review on this, is that I really freaking love this movie.
And away we go.
Basically, what's happening in this sequel, and it totally feels like a sequel. It feels like just a continuation. It's a chapter of the story, the mythology that they're creating around John Wick. And the sequel to this movie has already been confirmed, so we're getting more. It's not a surprise. It's a massive hit. But John Wick is being chased by all of the hit people that are sort of interconnected with this criminal underground that has a bunch of rules, a real set of rules. And what John Wick did in the second movie is he killed somebody that he shouldn't have in a place that he shouldn't have, and so he's excommunicado.
Mr. Wick broke the rules.
And he's pursued relentlessly by every variation of a hit person that you can dream up. So we're going to see some katana blades, we're going to see martial arts in every form and fashion, we're going to see people try to run him over with cars or chase him on motorbikes. Tons of gunfire is headed his way, lots of machine gun bullets headed his way.
Guns. Lots of guns.
But John Wick can handle it all, whether he's fighting somebody with a sword or he's taking out bad guys while he's on a bike and shooting people in the head and then watching a bike smash into another bike. It's all just exhilarating. You're just watching it going, holy crap. And along the way, what he's trying to do is talk to the big boss, the lord of all of this massive criminal enterprise, and seek his forgiveness. So he travels to Morocco and he runs into Halle Berry, who has got these two incredible dogs with her.
Good to see you too.
And finds his way finally through this unbelievable gunfight sequence that happens in Casablanca in this sort of epic Arabian castle that just was awesome. Great sequence. And the dogs are merciless. They don't stop chewing on the dead bodies that they create. And Halle Berry delivers a great contribution to the John Wick mythology as well. She's fierce and fearless, just charges into battle, knowing that she's got these two ferocious canines at her side. Incredibly fun sequence to watch. And so basically John Wick finds his way to the big boss and asks for forgiveness, but then all hell continues to break loose because people are still chasing after him until the clock ticks. And I think Parabellum, if I'm understanding Ian McShane's translation of the word, means ready for war or something, or let's go to war, or let's war it up. I don't know exactly what it means, but there's a war. All right, lots of fights in shiny places and glittering glass everywhere, kind of shades of Enter the Dragon, that whole sequence there where you don't know if it's a reflection or if you're seeing right through a window or something. Epic stuff. Incredible accomplishment by all of the creative people that put these John Wick movies together. I know there's been different directors and different creators behind the camera, but there has been a through line of competent and fun filmmaking and definitely shooting above the budget in all senses of the word to try to create something special and kind of a love letter to action movies of yore, you know, like John Woo pictures and things like that. It feels like a movie out of time. All of these movies have. John Wick 1 and 2 also did. And I think that's part of the charm of John Wick. It doesn't concern itself with 2019 issues or problems of the day. It almost feels like it was something crafted straight out of the 80s. With a guy that is middle-aged but still looks ridiculously young and is incredibly agile and super physically fit and just fun to watch. We've all grown up or older watching Keanu Reeves kick ass for so many years, and it's just invigorating to see him over 50 and still able to just trounce his bad guys any way that he pleases. You know, he goes up against ninjas on motorcycles on this thing. He gets chased while he's on a horse, and he slides off a horse cowboy style and shoots from the side of a horse and, you know, takes out bad guys. You do get the sense, because the camera is so generous in the long shots and the wide shots, so you get to see the whole fight, but you do get the sense that the choreography is being counted down in people's heads, you know? People are a little forgiving with the blade swooshes, and it doesn't look like every single hit is a complete shock to the performers. So you can kind of see the dance and the orchestration. I feel like maybe a slightly younger Keanu Reeves would be able to sell some of those combat sequences a little bit better than he is in some of the longer ones, but honestly, you have to forgive it all because A, the camera is pulled back wide enough and there aren't jump cuts galore that you can see it's really these actors just going to town, just trying to beat the crap out of each other, and it's incredible. You know, it's absolutely incredible, and lots of blades do connect. Not literally, but they do connect on the characters, and somehow they're able to fight with big gaping knife wounds or shots right through their body, blood oozing everywhere, but it's okay. Suits get a bit mussy and dirty, but they can still keep throwing punches and hitting them with big ferocious kicks and stuff. God, it's fun to watch. The ending is a little bit messy, and I think purposefully so. There's some betrayals at the end that just sort of leave you scratching your head, wondering, well, aren't we just going to start this whole thing right again? And I think what they're trying to do is set up more, and clearly there's no big epic death scene at the end. Keanu Reeves and that character of John Wick, they're not just going to suddenly disappear. They mean too much to Lionsgate and frankly to all of us as fans. In that respect, I think some of the stakes are pulled out of the picture a little bit because you can see the machine of it, you can see the awareness, and it's also reflected in some of the celebrity faces that you're going to see pop up. You know, like, oh, that person's in there. Oh, that person's in there. And it's because it's now a big magnet for money, right? So we're going to be spending more on cast members that we're familiar with, but we're also acutely aware that we have a valuable franchise, and I just reported on that in the rundown. And Lionsgate is really going to try to, you know, bring this character out into, he's in Fortnite right now, but in lots of other ways, and so you can see that it's a precious gemstone now. And that's when things can start to feel a little bit like John Wick the Ride, and I think that's what the filmmakers have to be cautious of going forward. If I'm comparing 3 to 2. I think 2 was the perfect distillation of the surprise smash that the first movie was, with some accelerant, with some international locations. This has better production value, a little bit more money thrown into it, but now you can kind of feel that the movie is aware of the merchandising opportunities that exist around John Wick.
Let us begin.
Still, hard to quibble with this action fest and hard to not be entertained like I was. Like, if you have any affection or any affiliation with the output of Hollywood in the 1980s, this is going to be right up your alley.
You haven't disappointed.
I don't know if there's an action franchise out there that hits it so close to the movies that we used to see all the time, the Rambos and the, Commandos and the Jean-Claude Van Damme stuff. I mean, it's more artistic than all of that stuff, more elegantly made. But it certainly borrows from that sensibility, I think that's why it's so fun. You're just laughing as people are getting mercilessly destroyed. It's a wonderful movie. I'm going to give John Wick 3 a 9 out of 10. All right, we're back, and I just want to give another thank you and a shout-out to Johnny Dark, also known as Joshua Zavitz. Any thoughts on Rage 2, he asks? And, yep, I do. I don't want to spoil it, though. I think Blake's probably going to have an edit of that review tomorrow, so stay tuned. Definitely have some thoughts on that and some other stuff as well. I've been gaming in fits and starts as I've been traveling, either playing on this trusted laptop from MSI or the Switch, of course, and then when I'm back in Vancouver, I've been blasting through stuff on console as much as I can as well. So I have been playing. I just haven't had lots of time to go off and shoot these things. But I did get out and do some shooting yesterday. Victory, will you ever record a game room tour of your collection? How much better is it than John's Play Forever? This is from Thai Fish.
Can I say I've been bugging Vic to do this for the last 3 years?
Yes.
I said I would film it. I'll come over and, because you wouldn't believe the collection he has. It's
pretty good.
You wouldn't believe it.
I will do it, and thank you so much for your super chat as well, Cryptic. You are fantastic. Thank you. Here's what we're doing. We're setting up our archive to be a shooting space, the video archive. As we digitize, we're going to be chucking the tapes because we don't need them unless somebody wants to reach out and grab. Actually, I don't know if I want to just give away our old tapes. But we're digitizing and then getting rid of the tapes, and guess what's going to go onto those archive shelves afterwards? We're going to have all of our game library, and that will be another shooting space for us.
I was impressed. Vic had 10 games.
Yeah.
Really? No, he has a hell of a lot. It's like you wouldn't believe the shelving units. You have to go in on the side, and it's just like DS. Everything's DS, and then every Xbox game, every PS2 game. I'm not kidding you.
We've been at this for a while.
He doesn't show this stuff. It's ridiculous.
Well, it's not. It hasn't really been part of the content, but I feel like I want to, embellish our buried treasures a little bit. There's a reason why I bought the Mega SG and the Super NT. It's not because I want to start to be a collector of those cartridges. I have tons, and they're all sitting there, and I'm well, I don't really have an HDMI system to play all these great games with. Let's get the new stuff, and now I have them and the machines, and I want to show off some of that stuff, but. There's only so many hours in a day, you know what I'm saying? And there's a lot of new things to talk about.
It's so good. He's looking after the archive. I'm taking out Panzer Dragoon Saga, just putting my jacket and slipping out.
You can't have that or my boxed Earthlink. So
don't you have a boxed Earthbound as well?
Earthbound,
Very
yes.
Nice. Yeah.
Earthlink was the first internet service we had back. They're long gone. I do have a boxed Earthbound.
Back in the olden days.
You have boxed Earthbound too.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
day
of course
one.
you do. And do you have Panzer Dragoon Saga?
Absolutely, I do.
Okay, yeah, you're right
I'm
up there.
okay.
Yeah,
I got everything I wanted.
You've just been much choosier. Okay, let's talk about John Wick 3.
Okay.
You gave it an 8.5 on
did.
Film Fury.
Yes.
I gave it a 9. So you have to watch both reviews to get the full meal deal there.
I got to say, you really missed out on that press screening.
I know.
Because we saw number 2 together, and it was just like, wow, you're sitting in a whole theater.
John Wick 2. John and I saw that. Yeah.
Just 6 reviewers in the entire theater.
Yeah.
10:30 in the morning. I mean, what a way to watch a movie.
It's incredible.
John Wick 3 was just like, wow. And for 6 of us in the theater, we were all cheering.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to give too much away, but that scene when John Wick has got Yeah. No, it's not a big deal. He's got a knife. He just throws a knife.
Yeah.
And he throws it like 3 times into that guy.
Yeah.
I was like clapping. I was so excited.
It was so well choreographed and so orchestrated.
Yeah,
and
the
just beautifully
lighting,
shot.
the fighting, everything is great. I mean,
Yeah.
it's weak on the story, but that's okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like an incredible story. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah, and I think what's happening is it's kind of revealing that the Emperor has not as many clothes as we wanted to as they keep iterating on this series. So I think that's the challenge now that Lionsgate, that's what I talked about in my review a little bit, is that they have to really kind of make sure that this doesn't become John Wick the Ride. You know?
It kind of is at certain moments.
I know. It's like the predictability, like we need this action beat and we need this action beat.
Yeah.
Honestly, they have to do what Mission Impossible did. Mission Impossible was like kind of this. And then, what's his face? Christopher McQuarrie started working with Tom Cruise. They did Jack Reacher, and then they went off and did Mission Impossible 4 and 5 recently. I still like 4 better, but it just went, wow! You know, it became this incredibly deep and entrenched. 5 and 6, and they connected it to the previous MIs in some smart ways, but they really made them much stronger films, which were much better in their story department.
I think there's a lot of layers to the underworld that are shown in this, which is really cool, and we won't get into like spoilers of that, of how far that reaches, and that's the cool thing with this stuff. I like that, but it's very superficial storyline, and I'm okay with that. I just want to see John Wick get a knife and just throw it into a guy's head like 3 times. That's all I need in life.
It does feel like every human in every city that John Wick is in knows martial arts.
Well, yeah, and they're all after him. Type of thing.
It's like there's just like no normal civilians. Everybody's a killer.
I even said in the Film Fury review, I've never seen a human being with so much like discontent for human life as John Wick. He just kills without mercy.
Oh yeah, he doesn't finish. He does. He wants to make sure the job is done.
Yeah, like shoot you 3 times in the head after he
kills
stabbed
you
you
4
3 times. I know.
Yeah.
You're done. No,
But-
really, you're done.
But people need to die 4 times in these movies as well,
Yeah, exactly.
right? Like a double tap just doesn't work.
Oh man, he hates
We
humans.
got to do the quadruple taps in John Wick.
Yeah, it's fun. You know,
Yes.
to be honest with you, I still prefer John Wick 1. I love that revenge story. John Wick 2 is an extension of that. This one's a bit of a on the run kind of movie.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's good, but I like that.
I like
strong.
2 the most.
Do you like 2 the most?
Because I was expecting it to be like the home video version of John Wick. You know,
Why?
like the first movie did really well, and then they wanted to kind
Cash
of
in a little
make
bit
some
more?
money.
Right.
But it was much better than that, and maybe
Yes.
it was the way that we saw it too. It
pretty
was a
nice.
very magical movie day.
that
Just
is
like we're gonna
magical.
have tonight at a whole new world.
God.
All right, okay, no, we're not.
I remember when we went to see Beauty. No, I remember
we
when
did
we went
see
to
Beauty and the Beast.
We saw Beauty and the Beast, and I'm sitting there, and honestly, I'm like, I didn't want to go and see it, and then all of a sudden, the character starts singing, and I'm like, oh my God, I forgot what this was about.
Get ready for that tonight, buddy.
I know, I can't believe it.
It's
I'm
gonna
not
be
happy.
awesome. It's gonna be magical. Serling, thank you so much for the super chat. You rock. This is very cool. Okay, it's time to kind of start winding down, but we have a very different Let's Play and Chat. Our victim today is Johnny Millenium, and he is going to try out the brand new. This came out yesterday. Oculus Quest. Thank you for sending us this device. I have to tell you, because I played it yesterday. I took it out of the box. I unboxed it, and we're going to show the unboxing video soon. But I got it home and played with my family. We played some Beat Saber, and it is really, really captivating. It is really another level of immersion because you don't have to set up any damn thing. There's cameras built into the front, so it sees the room that you're in, and if you pass the Guardian, which is that sort of safety boundary that you lay down yourself, you kind of are, warned that you are doing something potentially dangerous, but you don't have to set up any sensors. You don't have to plug anything in.
Remember the big things you used to have to do before?
Yes.
It's ridiculous.
It's another level. So why don't you check that out and see if we can get you streaming. He's going to stream to my Facebook page, and we're going to try to show this off.
So, I don't know what I'm doing.
All right, so give it a shot. We're going to
try this. Put me into it here.
no, because it's. Have you seen this? I get the high hair, man. It's going to crush my hair. Yeah, yeah.
That's true.
I squish it at home, in the privacy. But honestly, this takes 4 hours to get this thing to stand up straight. Okay.
Where it's supposed to be.
All right. So he's in the middle of the room. So watch the tables and watch all the cameras. But you know where they are because you can actually try walking towards the table, Johnny.
Are you serious?
Yeah, walk towards the table.
Like you?
Yeah, come towards me. and pretty soon you'll see the video, right? Keep putting your head through. Can you see the video?
Oh yeah.
All right,
Oh, my
cool.
God.
All right, okay. So why don't you try setting the stream right now? So go
Okay,
into
so go to home library.
you
Store,
go
browser, gallery,
in settings. Yep,
okay.
and then
I got it.
stream, and then stream to my Facebook.
Well, I got settings. I got see all.
Oh, sharing.
Oh, sharing. Okay.
Yeah.
Done.
And then
go
into my Facebook.
Do I go live?
Yep.
So I hit go live. Okay.
Yep. Okay, cool. Now I'm going to check
So
my
live
Facebook
streaming?
to see. Yeah, you should be.
Okay. I think I'm good. And
Okay, so let me just check my Facebook and see what's going on here. You are live streaming. Okay.
so close it.
All right.
Is it working?
It is working.
Okay. So at this point, which game am I playing here?
You want to
There's
close
Oculus
that?
First Contact.
Yeah.
There's Beat Saber.
Okay, so go to Robo Recall and see if you can play a little bit of that.
Do I go to Oculus?
Oh, go
browser
to
for that?
library. Go down to library.
Okay, library.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a delay. So what you guys are seeing piped
yeah,
in.
yeah. There's a bit of delay.
Yeah, but you're not in it. You should be in real time. So
So Robo Recall? Is that
yeah,
right?
Robo Recall. Yeah,
I'm
see
in.
if that'll start up and boot. So
Do you know what? Isn't this Ready Player One? I'm telling you, the big thing about this, I love how small the headset is.
yeah,
I mean, this is incredible. Like, even the PlayStation VR, you got to put the head thing. You feel it from behind. I don't
Yep.
feel any of that.
it's
Wow.
total freedom, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and we wanted to play Beat Saber, which is probably the most dynamic way to show off the game, but and show off Oculus, but it's got all this music in it, and so for right now you can't live stream it. So we
I
wanted.
just can't believe I can look out into.
Isn't that
that's
crazy?
amazing.
Yeah, you can, so you will see, and I don't know if we're gonna get that when
No,
you pop
it's
through.
that's something interesting. So it's live streaming to Facebook now.
Yep.
Streaming.
We see what you're in the title screen,
Okay.
although I'm probably a few seconds before you. But what they've done is they've adjusted the sensor technology. So in the you've got your left one is upside down, Johnny. So you want to turn your.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
The great thing is you can see it.
Yeah, you can see the
Right in front of
things.
you.
The
Perfect.
rings are the sensors on the Oculus Touch controllers, and so they've flipped those and they've inverted them because the cameras are tracking everything. And this has got 6 degrees of freedom, so you can walk around in a space. You can make a space as big as 7 feet, by 7 feet, so you can actually give yourself some square footage. I've actually heard from people that they've tested out Beat Saber outside, so people are trying that out, which is kind of crazy.
You know, the one thing I love is being able to walk around.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you are
that's-
untethered, 6
yeah.
degrees of freedom.
Watch me fall off the stage here, right?
Well, but the thing is that once you walk towards, try walking towards the stage and see if you get the.
I'm going to walk towards this way.
Yeah, well, turn 180 and try walking towards the stage and
Watch
see if
me
you walk up.
dive, Vic.
Don't die, John. You should get, as you walk to the edge of your Guardian, you should get a little video screen.
That is so trippy.
And I don't know if that's going to show up on our stream or not.
Wait, I'm surrounded by a bunch of chappies right now.
Yep. I think you have weapons. I haven't
Not
played
yet.
this
I think
yet.
it's still, is it still loading? I'm just watching a
Cutscene?
movie.
Okay. All right. Oh yeah, you are a robot, and
Oh, okay.
and you have guns on the side, and the robots get into a virus. This is have a virus that sort of streaks through them, and then you've got to take out all the killer virally infected robots.
Oh my God.
And
They're
so
all turning on me?
and hopefully
Come on, guys. I thought, Jesus.
hopefully you
What the hell's going on?
you have some action here very quickly. But
So is it still loaded? That was just part of the beginning, right?
yeah.
The movie type.
Oh,
of thing.
now they're turning on you. Okay, so that was just like a little.
Oh, I got robot hands.
Okay, so at the Robo-Ready headquarters. So when you die, you get zapped. Your consciousness gets zapped back in. This is like the unplugged version of the Robo Recall game, which you can get for Rift and Vive right now. So this is probably dumbed down a little bit or slimmed down a little bit for the Quest. And the Quest, it's 550 Canadian, $400 American, but it's all included. So everything that you see there, plus the charge cables. So you don't have to buy anything extra. You've basically got a little new virtual console on you, and it's about the quality bar of the PlayStation VR. So it's not like state-of-the-art resolution. It's not state-of-the-art frame rates, but it's pretty damn impressive. And the thing that you're going to dig more, and what I appreciated just getting into Beat Saber and some of the test stuff that I did yesterday, was that it's it's just so comfortable and easy to play, you know? Like, it's just really easy to jump into the world and you're there. You don't have to readjust anything or, you know, set sensors up and then reset them. It's really straightforward. Before we rolled today, Blake was just running around creating a new Guardian on the stage because obviously we took it from
So when do I get to play the game?
Zip to one of the computers.
Like over here in front
Yeah.
of me? What's that? Aim down.
With the red thing, the red laser.
Yeah, and then you go to it.
So what do I do now? I'm a whole.
You got to press one of the buttons. You probably haven't been able to hear anything because I've been.
No, I can't hear a thing.
I've been yakking. There you go. Now let go. Let's see if you zip
I
over.
see. It's really weird.
It's like a teleportation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. I can see that. Yeah.
So you are teleporting? When it's blue, you can teleport. There you go. And then jump into.
Pretty silly controls.
You haven't done a lot of the teleportation stuff, right? You get used to it.
Well, the thing is it's like, okay, which button am I pressing? Do I? So it's all. Like, why is it going over there?
I don't know.
And what is going?
I haven't played this. What's that? Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So
Yeah,
play the
it's really weird.
Star Wars Darth Vader Immortal.
Oh wow.
Oh, okay. All right. There you go. Okay. I thought you'd be shooting. We thought we'd be shooting sooner. There's not enough killing going
I
on.
know.
We need to fix this.
Yeah, what the hell's going on with the goddamn color in this game? Yeah.
All right. Well, this is what happens with these video games. They get very
I can-
sophisticated
wow.
with their
So
storytelling.
trippy.
Yeah, you can get right down on the ground and pick stuff up. Okay, so here's what we're going to do, John. You're going to bounce out of this, and you're going to go into the Darth Vader Immortal game.
Okay.
Okay,
Just
so
a
press-
second. I'm just taking some of my frustration out of this
Okay.
world.
Make sure it does the tutorial.
Okay, so press the Oculus button on the controller.
It's on the bottom.
It's the bottom button. There you go. And it should boot you into the menu. Careful, because he might swing at you.
Yeah.
He can't see you,
I
Blake.
can't see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's on it right now.
Blade Blur, great to see you, buddy.
hold
Thank
it?
you so much for that. Super chat, you are the best. Thank you.
It's
Okay.
the one that your thumb is on right now, Johnny.
Okay, because I can't see the control perfectly.
You should see it, the menu pop up when you press that.
Okay.
Okay, so go to Darth Vader Immortal. VR Grid, love VR support, especially from my fave content creator. Oh, you are the best, VR Grid. Thank you so much. I'll be playing a ton of the Quest. I'm headed to Toronto in the morning, and I half thought that I was going to bring this on the plane, but I'm not. I'm gonna let Blake take this home and play it for a while. It'd be very weird for me to be sitting in a seat in VR land. Okay, have you quit out of it?
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
So am I going to Vader Immortal?
Yeah, and then you're going into the tutorial.
Okay.
Okay, so we're a little bit behind on the stream that I'm seeing, which means we're also a little bit behind on the stream that you're seeing. But Johnny's going to try a little bit of Star Wars right now. This is our first time.
I thought I get to shoot things in here.
I know, this is our first time loading all this stuff in, right? So we're testing out the hardware a little bit. Johnny's put this on for the very first time just right now. So let's see if the lightsaber action works. And we wanted to show Beat Saber, which is the easiest game to showcase in VR. Does everybody know what Beat Saber is? Basically, you've got two lightsabers, and you are. It's a rhythm game. It's a rhythm action game, and you're just slicing back and forth and up and down at blocks that are coming your way. It's very simple, but it's incredibly effective. But this is made by the ILM X Labs in San Francisco, so it's not really. Wait a sec. So what do you want to press? You want to press the? Is it the Lightsaber Dojo?
Oh wow.
Lightsaber Dojo. So
Wow.
press the little button on the Lightsaber Dojo.
I'm already in.
Okay. All right. Did you press resume?
Yes.
Oh, that's the story. We're going to be standing around looking out of Darth Vader's navel for a little bit. Okay, so you got to go back. So you got to go back. Go back to Lightsaber Dojo. So press press one of the buttons
What are
and take you
talking
back.
about? Also, please introduce yourself. Who are you?
It's not always super simple. sometimes it takes a little bit of figuring out.
You know what? I just wanted to jump right in. I thought, just resume. We can actually start playing something. Of course not. The future is not today.
Did you press the menu button? Okay.
I just
Quit. Okay, start again. Okay, here we go. We are new at VR. We're just getting our feet wet with all this.
Yeah, I'm loving it.
Okay, so
Can I actually play a game?
lightsaber dojo. You were gonna swing a lightsaber around.
Lightsaber Dojo. I like it.
Okay.
Press that button.
You know what? It's called Let's Play in Chat. I haven't even looked at the questions in here. Okay, from Taz, when will we get any production news for the E3 streams? I'll give that to you right now. Because Sony is out of it and EA is out of it, we're trimming down some of that stuff. And so what we're going to do, and actually I've got meetings that I have to get to on the Monday, June 10th. At E3, so that's when we're heading down on June 10th. So we'll be doing rundowns, kind of recapping everything like we've done traditionally. But I am working on something that is very cool. I don't want to hype it up too much, but it's related to the 25 years of E3. So stay tuned for that. It's something that we'll be shooting in Los Angeles. But this year, I think mostly because the press conferences are all a little bit weird. We're in a transition year to the new hardware, so we're going to press pause on doing live streams of the conferences from Vancouver, but maybe we'll pick that up again next year from this venue because it would be awesome. And we had a great time last year at EXP. Rest in peace. Hey Vic, I wonder what thing would you put away your Switch in when you take it on the go? Adrian Leon is asking. I have a great Zelda case that holds a bunch of cartridges, holds my my Switch machine, and then I can put my headphones in there. So that's what I take out on the road with me, which is great. Let's see what we got here. Taz, will I be logging into Discord soon? I will log in tonight, my friend, and say hello to everybody. It's been a while. I apologize. Abby Jameson, great to see you. How do you dig that, buddy?
This is pretty good.
Does it feel like you've got a lightsaber in your hand?
Sure does.
One of the cool things
I'm
about...
just trying to figure out where the
where are the things to shoot? Oh, there you go.
they're showing up on it.
That's pretty cool. It's pretty rad that he's streaming it from his headset. It's going to my Facebook. It's on this laptop, going to this TV, and going out. Technology is incredible right now.
It's come a long way. We need sunglasses, though.
We do need.
Sunglasses versions would be great.
Yes, I know, right? Famous Seamus question: how much money do we need to give to have Vic sing the entire Aladdin soundtrack?
Yeah, hey, I'll pay money for that. I'll pay money for
Maybe
that.
that's the next live stream after we see the movie. That's a good question. Sherlink or Sirlink. What does Keeley officially call the pre-E3 event you attended last week? It's called the E3 Judges Week, or the E3 Critics Week. And shout out to Jeff Keeley because he organizes it all and he puts it together. He works with all the publishers on a lot of things throughout the year. So he has all those relationships to coordinate and organize and set it up in Los Angeles. But there is no way in hell that we would have time within the 3 days of E3 to get hands-on with all the stuff that we checked out. And so lots of little games, which I'll talk about in future videos, got some attention, and they were very good, very, very fun.
Hey, guys, Vic, I'll ask you a question right now.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to that Rust game on the Xbox?
Rust?
Rust, yeah.
I think it came out. It sort of came and
Did it already come out?
Yeah,
Wow.
it was in early access for a long time, I think, right? It might still be in early access. I think we have time for 2 more questions, and then Johnny and I have got to break it down because we've got to get to...
We have to get to Aladdin.
Yeah, we got to get to Aladdin. Vic, what game have I been playing? From Burton Pierre. Well, I've been playing Shakedown Hawaii, which you'll see reviews of. Rage 2, which you'll see a review of. Been playing a ton of Darksiders on the Switch, so that's in my queue to review it. I know it's been out for a little while, but I'm getting to this stuff as quickly as I can. I've been playing Castlevania. I've been playing some Beat Saber on the Oculus Quest. So I'll have reviews of that. I'll have a review soon of the Mega SG. I've been playing some classic Sega Genesis games and having a good time there. And I think Laughing while people are ruthlessly slaughtered. 9 out of 10. Sam I Am 111. Yes, John Wick 3 is awesome. You guys should go and see that. Okay, my friends. I have not met Metal Jesus Rocks. I think you have, though, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Johnny has met Metal Jesus Rocks. I like his content, though. He's fun. Okay, you guys, that's going to do it for our episode of EP Live today. I am off to Toronto tomorrow morning, early in the morning. Crazy, right? So if you are going to be at Anime North, please come by and say hello. I'll be at the 8-Bit Beans booth, and I've got a panel about the 10 most important games of the last 25 years, kind of wrapping up some of the biggest titles that have come out. Super fun and excited to come and say hello to everybody at Anime Expo. Thank you for being on the show, my friend. We are going to be back on Monday with a brand new EP Live. And Wednesday with an EP Live. We've got some other projects in addition to E3 that I'm trying to kind of bounce and figure out when we're going to do all of this stuff. So stay tuned. But Monday for sure, we're back with a brand new EP Live. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you soon, and play forever.